Nick, 2026 is a doubly special year for Lyon Turnbull. It is our bicentenary. We were founded in Edinburgh in 1826, just like the Royal Scottish Academy. But 2026 also marks a century of selling the Scottish Colourists. Would you like to tell us a bit about that?
Yeah, that's absolutely right. Almost exactly 100 years ago, we sold our first Scottish Colourist, a Cadell. And we've got a number of the highlights of our forthcoming sale showing behind us, including the Cadell interior.
Cadell was the youngest of the 4 Scottish Colourist artists, and the painting is Interior, the Lady in Black, beautiful example of his work from the 1920s. Would you like to tell us about the work that's hanging beside it?
This is a lovely still life, an early still life by George Leslie Hunter, when he was still influenced by the Dutch artists. Yes, a very nice piece of bravura painting.
And showing that wonderful use of colour with which he was to be given the sobriquet a colourist later on in his career. And what about the works, in fact, that we're both holding by the same artist?
So I'm holding a J.D. Fergusson, a lovely early example, a view of the East End of Princes Street in Edinburgh. So I'm sure it'll be extremely popular.
And very recognisable, as the scene has barely changed to this day. And then Fergusson was the only one of the 4 colourists to work in 3 dimensions. He actually made sculpture over many decades of his life. And this is Gloxinia, named after the orchid, cast in brass. And to complete the quartet of the colourists is Samuel John Peploe, and a beautiful example of his painting is hanging just behind.
Yes, The White Dress, a painting from 1906, which shows his debts to the European painters of the same era, some of the swagger portraits of Baldini and Singer Sargent. So we're delighted to be able to offer this one for sale.
And it was painted round the corner from Lyon Turnbull in Edinburgh at 32 York Place in Henry Raeburn's former studio, which brings us back to 2026, marking a century of Lyon Turnbull selling the Scottish Colourists.
Yes.